In a small but beautiful town in the south, there lived a young, handsome, and intelligent man named David. A graduate of accounting from a reputable university, David worked as an accountant and was known for his discipline, work ethic, and principled nature. Amara, on the other hand, was a vibrant Youth Corps member who had been posted to the town for her National Youth Service. Having studied economics at a top university in the southeast, her intelligence, confidence, and determined personality made her stand out wherever she went. After her National Youth Service ended, Amara secured a well-paying job with a multinational financial management organization in the state. As she planned building her career in financial management, her marital life was equally important to her. On the other hand, David was focused in pursuing his PhD in accounting. As for David, the thought of marriage wasn't in view as soon as possible. David and Amara first met during a local church youth event. Amara, new to the town and eager to make friends, introduced herself with grace and poise. David, who was coordinating the event, was immediately struck by her confidence and warmth. Their friendship grew quickly, and within months love blossomed. David admired Amara's ambition, while Amara found David's intelligence, maturity, and sense of responsibility deeply attractive. They seemed perfect together. As their relationship matured, Amara naturally began to envision marriage. However, David, though deeply in love with her, was hesitant. David's avoidance of the marriage topic started becoming noticeable. Every time Amara mentioned wedding plans, casually or seriously, David's response was always some variation of, "Soon, Amara. Let me just sort a few things out." David, being a principled man raised by a single mother, believed that no man should marry unless he was financially stable. For him, readiness was tied to money, and he wanted to provide a comfortable life for Amara. One weekend, Tola visited Amara in her small rented apartment. As they sipped tea and chatted, Amara confided her concerns. "Tola, I love David, but he keeps delaying the topic of marriage. He says he's not ready financially, and I don't know what to do." Tola, practical and outspoken, set her cup down and looked at Amara intently. "Amara, let me tell you something. Men like David are good men, intentional and responsible. But sometimes, they carry too much pressure to be perfect providers. If you keep waiting for him to feel ready, you might be waiting forever." Amara frowned. "But what should I do? I can't force him." Tola smiled knowingly. "You don't need to force anything. Sometimes, all a man needs is a little nudge. If David loves you, and I know he does, then he'll respond to your boldness. Don't be afraid to initiate the process, Amara. It's not desperation, it's wisdom." Her words struck a chord in Amara. That evening, Amara decided to take Tola's advice. She invited David over for a simple dinner at her apartment. After they ate, she took a deep breath. "David, can I ask you something?" "Of course," David replied, smiling. "Do you love me?" David looked at her, surprised. "You know I do, Amara. More than anything." "Okay, so what's on your mind concerning marriage? Am I in your marriage plans?" David, still looking dumbfounded, asked, "What are you saying?" Amara replied, "If you truly love me as you've mentioned, then let's stop waiting." David froze for a moment, caught off guard. Amara continued softly but firmly. "David, you and I are graduates. We're hardworking and full of dreams. I know you want to feel financially perfect, but life doesn't work that way. I don't need a mansion or luxury, I need your commitment. We can build together." Her words sank deep into David's heart. For the first time, he realized that his delay wasn't about protecting Amara. It was about his own fear of imperfection. "I'll think about it," he said quietly, though her words had already shifted something inside him. That week, David visited his Uncle Ben, his mentor and role model. Sitting in the older man's living room, David shared his dilemma. "Uncle, I love Amara, but I don't feel ready. I want to give her the best, and I don't have enough saved yet." Uncle Ben smiled knowingly. "David, when I married your aunt, all I had was a small room and faith. Everything we have today, we built together. Marriage isn't about waiting for perfection, it's about partnership." David stared at his uncle as the older man continued. If you've found a woman who believes in you, don't let your fear of imperfection hold you back. Trust me, David, building with someone who loves you is far better than building alone. Uncle Ben's words echoed in David's mind long after he left. Later that week, David visited Amara with a small box in his pocket. They sat together on her front porch under the evening sky. Taking her hand, David looked into her eyes. Amara, you were right, he began. I've been waiting for perfection when all I really needed was faith. I don't have everything figured out yet, but I know one thing: I want to build my life with you. He knelt down and opened the box, revealing a simple but elegant ring. Amara, will you marry me? Amara's eyes filled with tears as she smiled. Yes, David, 1,000 times yes. Their wedding was small but beautiful, attended by close family and friends. Tola stood proudly as Amara's maid of honor, whispering with a smile, I told you he just needed a nudge. As David and Amara stood hand in hand at the altar, David whispered, Thank you for believing in me before I even believed in myself. Amara squeezed his hand and replied, We're a team, David. Always. David and Amara's story became an inspiration in their community. Young men admired David for his willingness to embrace partnership, while women saw Amara as an example of wisdom and boldness. David would often say, Don't delay marrying a good woman because of finances. If she believes in you, she'll help you build. Amara, too, would share. Sometimes men hesitate because they carry too much pressure to be perfect. If you see a good man who loves you, don't be afraid to take the first step. Boldness doesn't diminish a woman's worth, it shows her wisdom. And so, their story reminded everyone that success in marriage doesn't come from perfection. It comes from two people who choose to build, trust, and grow together.
Thank you for watching. If this story has inspired you, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more uplifting content. Don't forget to like, share, and recommend us to others.